Alright. It's been a little while. It's been a little while. Okay, listen. I don't got time. I don't got mental space, but we're back with Anon. For those who forgot, last time, Fang turned into a spooky ghost. Which, you know... I don't know how to tell you this, man, but turning into a spooky ghost... Slight complications with that. Anon is convinced that it's just a hallucination, and then he's gonna wake up. It's gonna be, oh, don't worry about it. Fang, meanwhile, thinks that it's a lucid dream, you know. It's like, don't worry about it. It'll be fine in like 5 minutes. If you're clever, you'll realize that both of them are basically thinking the exact same thing. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We just give it a few minutes. Just take it off a high heat. It'll resolve itself in like 2 minutes, okay? Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. I'll wake up. I'll wake up from my lucid dream soon enough, and it'll be fine. You know, like a smart person would do. So let's get to it. Well, thanks for nothing, brain. When I planned for it to quickly let me sleep so I didn't have to worry about my dead girlfriend's spectral hallucination following me around my apartment, I didn't mean for it to take me here. I'd always end up back here, so many times after the shooting, that I recognize it instantly. Even if it doesn't always start the same route I always walk to school. The same sidewalk, though. Same random plant growing out of the cracks. Everything carried a saturated pallor tone. This might just be how you dream. Like, I think people underestimate that. Like, sometimes... There have been times where I dream and it's like the sky is just pitch black because my brain is like, you never look up enough for me to give a shit. Like, what color is the sky? Who knows? Well beyond the choking morning mist, and into a smothering, drained, pale void. Ugh, pallor and pale are the same thing, and very desaturated. I don't know, man. Gotta be careful there. I walked through said mists. I had to, of course. It's what I always did, and I couldn't get any further if I didn't. Dream time be eternal when it wants to fuck with you. I feel like that's less dream time, and you're just messing with yourself at this point, buddy. I tried to break away in other attempts in the lucid dream. This one was always lucid, but mistangled and so I went back to the start like some lazy developer's reset function in a cheap video game. Why is that cheap? Why does it also have to be a cheap video game? Speaking of, I reached my principal designation. You're thinking of principal with L-E, because principal is your pal. A large, gray... It's not a grade building, it's just gray, standing imposing, even though it was merely a silhouette in the fog. How can you tell it's great if it's a silhouette? All the impressions of a horror game, or maybe a shitty wad. This is literally something Anon says to himself in the game. You can't just quote it here, unless he's being flippant with it, which, admittedly, I like the idea that Anon's been in this hellhole. It's been like a few weeks. I don't know why he would be this familiar with unless he's always here. In which case, it'd be funny. It'd be funny if it wasn't so grim. I feel like this would desensitize him. I feel like this would make you, like, not give a damn and be like, eh. I continued along the sidewalk path. Why is my brain like sideway? Because that's what's preloaded in my memory. Path cutting around through the silted golden thicket that sprinkled along with it. Student, teachers, first responder, police. Aren't police first responders? I feel like they fall under that umbrella, but I don't know. I don't actually know. The form's incoherent. No obvious feature. I think I could readily make out or to recognize any of them. I mean, you wouldn't know. They were representations, not the people I know. Not the people I knew feels more appropriate. Yeah, here we go. I feel like new makes more sense because you haven't been in touch with them, so they are people you knew because you don't intend to come into contact with them. Which is part of what made this hallucination of Fangs so deeply unsettling. Sad as it was to say, I was getting used to nightmares like this. Or on bad nights, the odd night terror. Again, isn't this like immediately after? I don't know. I feel like I forgot the time. Reading 2 of these at once is a terrible idea. Flash of distorted memory, clear enough that I could pick everything out. Vague enough that I could never really come to grips with the specifics. Whatever it was, because I had been barely paying attention on my frantic run to try and stop her from doing what she already did. Because I was just about of a foregone antisocial ass that I didn't pay attention to the real victims, who was anyone's guess. The stillness continued to be unsettling. Not enough to feel like anything would suddenly become scary, or there was a monster in the bush that was ready to leap at me. I love the idea that Anon's like, god dang it. At least we're not doing the sappy, cheap jump scares. That's cheap. That's cheap video game stuff, okay? Not the reset. Just ambiently uncomfortable because of what this snapshot was. I know how it ended. You know how it ends because it's in the process. I know who it hurt, or I guess it is a recollection. Ugh, man, reliving your memories is weird for tenses. Maybe not all their names, but enough to perpetually wail me. I like to imagine. I feel like there should have been a wake. Someone should have talked about this. And because I knew, it never left me, no matter how long I spent idling through this dreamscape. Which is why it was better to just get it over with. I slipped my way past the frozen-in-place police cars, the muted reds and blues barely lighting the atonal world around me. How is it atonal if there are reds and blues? Like, I know what you're trying to do, but man, Anna, you need to work on your vocabulary. I avoided touching any of the ghosts, so I don't think I could really say why. Maybe one of these times I will, just to see what happens. I feel like this should be the time to do it, because you've just invoked that mystery in the reader, and it's, like, probably not that important. Pausing briefly in front of the arch. What is the sentence? Okay, listen. The reason I'm going with pausing briefly in the archway is that you're trying to, like, what you are describing here is instructions for how to get around the building, and I don't think that's all that relevant. I feel like you're describing something that doesn't functionally matter to anything. It's like, oh, this is how the stairs work. Bitch, this doesn't matter. This is not how your story works. Get out of my house. Give me $50 as compensation for the intense emotional suffering. Man, I've said this 1,000 times. I feel like the ending in Snoot Game is more a tragedy played straight. I feel that in Wani, the sound works a little better. Am I really gonna do the new verse for realsies, though? I'm thinking about the new verse and doing it for realsies. Because I haven't worked on that in a while, because I've been letting that simmer in the back of my mind. But I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to do it. No new verse. What the fuck? Why does this start? Oh. Damn, I don't know if I can keep any of this, because I'm like, I don't know if any of this still works. Some ideas are popping in my brain. Anyway, listen, if we're going to listen to hospital drones, we know what hospital drone we truly need. There's only one hospital music track that I think fits this situation. Gotta take it easy, buddy. It's not the extended version. There you go. Anon, please. Anon, please. Relax, Anon. Be a gentle little baby boy. I don't like how the volume slider on YouTube is like, it's just a little too small to get some representation in for the lower settings. I paused briefly in the front of the archway, which in turn led to the stairs. Any editor will tell you that this sentence sucks ass because nothing happens. This sentence is Anon describing nothing that matters. It is describing the location and the physicality, and I guess that, like, for fuck's sake, get this out of here. Say that he just pauses briefly, and that he has doubts. I guess I gave blood to Book Caldera twice in the end. Grim amusement settling within me. Once here, once there. Should have declared. I think I'm my real destination. Gotta wrap this shit up. Personally, I feel like I just get, like, bitter. I'd just be like, come on, man. You're using your brain superpower to give me emotions that I don't actually have. You little shit. Come on. I get to see her again. I get to fail her again. And I get to watch her jump again. The only part of this miserable still world that ever moves. Still world, I feel like photograph or something that evokes stillness. Like diorama. Like, evoke that concept in its little... It doesn't work because you're already being a little fast and loose with some words. But if you're being strict with words, you can use words that evoke stillness. Like, it's a diorama. He's walking through a diorama, through a theme park. Call it a haunted house. And only when I finally get up there do I get to see it. My brain really does hate me, doesn't it? I sighed, the sound dissolving... What do you mean dissolving? Off my lips in the static atmosphere of the frozen room and the dense mists. Why are you in shattered memories, my man? Like I could feel the echoing off the distant surface. I couldn't make it. Oh, this is such bad writing. This is so bad at what it's trying to do. Good work. Brain, add that little special effect. I feel like if you're gonna be skeptical little bitch, he's not like, I don't know what we're doing here. What are we trying to evoke? What is the feeling? Is that Anon is done with his emotional processing? He's gonna be flippant, you know? If I could have been this creative when I slept, I could get into making horror movies or something. Could call the autobiography magnum opus work, You Done Fucked Up, Anonymous. So everyone knows what they're getting into with it. I moved past the damned bollard, which caused a dull pressure in my ribs when I looked at it. I thought he hit it with his back. That's how I always imagined it. Head up the stairs, each step setting off a phantom pain in turn, for wherever my spaghetti flailing limbs made contact. I like how this is what you're bringing up, even though this was like a moment that led to some really nice moments with you and Fang. I mean, I guess it could be longing in a weird way. Like, the pain becomes a longing. Like, I feel that makes way more sense if you go with the angle of, like, Anon suddenly longs for this because it's a better time. I'd rather fall off this bollard 1,000 times than be where I am right now. It's, like, a very evocative thing to give. Because it's like, this man wants the worst pain he's felt up until that point, rather than where he is. Even if it's not intense, I could just feel Fang's healing touch right now. A gentle, loving massage and a sensation of warmth would be nice. But that wasn't what was waiting for me. Certainly not. It's the top landing and continued to the front doors, before slowing to a stop. My arms raised towards the handle, but paused part-way, instinctually trying to avoid completing the action. I know what waited inside. Bodies, blood, bullet holes. The fetid stench of iron and copper that writhed, tasted bile, and rose in my throat. Bodies of students lingered the halls. Yeah, she only really killed 4 people in the end, but only managed to fuck up 3 others. I didn't know it at the time when getting there originally, though. For now, it's just a hallway of bodies. I didn't recognize most of them. Maybe I saw a few in passing, but was definitely familiar with 2. Naomi, visible off in the classroom to the side. Couldn't help but cringe at the carnage. Guess she didn't get a perfect high school life in the end. I shuffled. I swiftly stuffed my hands in my pockets and continued to walking. God, I'm such an asshole. Why are you being mean to yourself? I thought you were being flippant. It was an absolute cunt to be sure, but seeing a corpse freshly dead and my girlfriend getting revenge, and that was the first thing I thought? I mean, you didn't like her very much. I don't think you really have a reason to think positively. You're an asshole. Like, I feel weird that you're acknowledging this instead of being like, yeah, I'm an asshole, I know. Like, you know that you are. No wonder things turned out so shit. The other I knew I'd recognize was Nasa. I always felt let's go back to our hospital, because the joke's old now. The joke's old, okay? I always felt regret that I didn't really check on him. It wouldn't have helped, but he didn't deserve to die with no one around him but corpses and the wailing wounded. I was considered him some kind of bro because he really did seem to care, and even gave me part of his sandwich on that first day. I didn't even pause to check on him before running off to find my girlfriend, who had shot him. Some bro I was. Hell of a way to return a favor. Placed my hand on the handles of the front door. The flat ambient grey of the outdoors making it difficult to see inside. I feel like if you're just going to call things grey, learn some fun alternatives like marble and slate. Learn some cool rock types, because everything is so statuesque and still. Evoke that sensation of heavy stillness. Not that I wanted to, but I couldn't help but try to peer. Closer anyways. Just formless blackness behind the glass. I don't get to enjoy the scene until I enter it. I love how it's like, listen, buddy, you gotta trigger the loading zone. Not that it mattered. I checked up on everyone before. Tried to help. Tried to move them. Never mattered. They were still dead and still on the same floor as everything else in this damn nightmare. The only exception is, unlike the shades huddled down on the street, the ones here were concretely formed. They were iconic symbols. I feel like the reason they're formed is because they're corpses instead of people standing around. Like, at that time, you didn't know yet, and you saw corpses. Like, your mind was activated in some way. Neuron activation joke insert here. But you know what I mean, right? I wasn't allowed to fix things here. There was no helping anyone. There was just a still, eternal, solemn reminder, so I'd never forget. I sighed again, pressing my forehead to the glass of the door for a moment. Readying myself never helped, but I felt like I... Oh wait, I feel like you need to rewrite this. Like, nor did I ever feel like I could go away without... Whatever. Readying myself never helped. Though I couldn't do it without doing it either. Something like that. Fuck it. Let's get this over with. I pulled the doors open and stepped inside. Might I just say, we are this many fucking words in, and all we're doing is just kind of recalling a dream sequence that anyone who's reading this is familiar with. I'm just saying, buddy, that I wanna put a little gas in there. Oh, wait, they're tearing it off. Oh. I pulled open the door, stepped inside. Always distorted. Stepped a little further. A dozen forms always were bodies. Oh, we didn't even enter yet. We're kind of just pretending, I guess. Okay, I don't know why you're doing it like this. You just create. I mean, I guess it fits a dream to be formless, but I'm kind of sick of dream sequences. But you know, two fucking fics I'm reading are pretty much the same thing. Not a good taste. Not a good smell. As I was walking again. The center of the floor, not saturated like everyone else, was Nasser. His arm extended out to me, shaking wildly as his body strained with the effort. The other arm was supporting his torso just enough to get off the ground, so he lifted his head to stare at me. He was looking right at me, mouth flapping wordlessly in silence as blood and spittle flew from it. Oh. Oh. I love how we kept Anon's shitty shoes. That's a detail you can't skip out on. I couldn't formulate a coherent thought response to it. Instead pausing for a moment before thundering forward, my footfall sounds in the hallway. Falling awkwardly on the ground in front of him, I grabbed outstretched hands, grabbing his fingers closed around mine, weakly squeezing. Oh my god! Oh fuck, I could touch him! I can do something! Should we? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We should do something! Should we do something? We should do something! Should we do something? I'm changing! We should do something! Bang! We should do something! Should we do something? We should do something.
Such dumb. Oh, that's bad writing for you. Just sitting around, pissing in the wind. I can do something! Should we do something? Tears were streaming down his face. His expressions twisted into a horrible mess of pain. Expressions? More like his face is twisting into that. Like, say, tears were streaming down his face, which was twisted into a horrible mess of pain or something like that. Or a horrible mess of pain was stained in tears. I don't know, use some sexy verbs, like stained. Physical from the obvious wound in his chest and emotional from the one of killed. That is so... Get out of here, Anon. You're not that kind of person. His mouth continued to move, his eyes locked on to mine? Onto yours. Even as I could feel the grip in his hand weakening. No, Nasa. Come on, no, man. Come on, Nasa. Fuck off. I hate this. You're being so sappy. You're being sappy. This isn't dramatic or tense. This is sappy. It's too slow. Would it kill you, fic writers, to understand that pacing your shit with a little bit of energy is important for making the punch? If you punch and I can see it coming, it's like, you gotta be a real good writer to make that one land. And usually it does it by giving you the old spicy keychain. Lifting someone's leg when they're bleeding out. It depends on where the wound is, I imagine. I guess the legs aren't that important for survival in terms of like your biological function, so you could get some blood out of that or something. Typhoid was a misread. Anyway, get some first aid. Help her. Oh, now it's just like, Anna, listen, it's a dream, but she's alive. You have to listen, Anna. Okay, listen, I gotta talk to you about how ghosts work. What the fuck do you mean you're gonna talk to me about how ghosts work? Anna, it's important. Come on, hold up. Hey, Anna, can you bring me that chart over there? Okay, listen. When people die, sometimes they turn into spooky ghosts. Why does everyone always call them spooky ghosts? It's because it's the official designation, and if we just say ghosts, people are like, oh, you mean those things that are made up? But if we say spooky ghosts, they know that they're real. Well, anything else? He was gone. Lame. Like, I feel like you could make this into something more impactful by having him carry Nasser on his back upstairs, and it's this big burden of him trying to change something, and when he arrives there, Nasser's just gone. Like, the reality is like, no, no matter what you do, no matter how much you wish and pretend and try to find solace in your dreams, you will forever be unable to do anything. This is just kind of like underselling it. Come on, man. Never experienced blood curdling before. I do. My God. I never associated curdling with like curds. Like, it's supposed to be that your blood is like. I mean, the funny part is that is what it's called in Dutch, bloedstollend, which isn't quite the same because I don't think that's how you use it. God knows what amateur writers on X love to utilize every time once. Hell, it's close enough. I like how you're being flippant again. I would love it if Anon is just like, Jesus Christ, I can't focus. I can't make up my damn mind about this. This isn't something I really got. Like curdling your blood like milk. Oh shit, he is dissecting it. Because someone screamed? No, it's supposed to be like congealing. It's supposed to be the term for congealing. In Dutch, it's the term for congealing. Your blood congealing and like plugging up holes. On various NSFL? Not suitable for lovemaking? Hold the phone. Not safe for life. Well, you know, don't you love learning shit? Don't you love waking up at 9 in the morning and you're like, ah, I sure do love learning stuff. I'm taking care of some stuff, don't worry about it. I really need to get around to actually, I mean, I don't have time right now, right? I have so much bullshit happening in my life. I don't have time to write. I don't have time to record. I don't have time to do anything. Every time I think I have like a second to myself, something comes up. I am strained with stress. I'm tight with fear. I am just nowhere good. Like emotionally, socially, energetically, financially, everything is fucked. In that slow burn kind of way, where you're like bleeding out at the bottom of a well and you wish that it would either just end or stop, but it just doesn't. You're waiting. That's all you got. Sound that ripped me out of my slumber? Oh! I love how you're just being way over verbose about it. Like, you just spent like half a page talking about how blood curdling works. Technically a page if we're being a little pedantic about it. I feel like this would be a page. Or most of a page. Let's not be too fancy here. The flashbang of pain was quick. Oh, wait. But the sound that ripped me out of my slumber? The one that almost certainly caused me to literally jump off the shitty mattress surface, crack my skull against the edge of my desk, and then the floor like some shitty European version of my usual wake-up routine? The only phrase that would suffice is blood-curdling. The flashbang of pain quickly dulled out of my attention. Was dulled out of my attention. You mean it vanished from your mind? By the sight in front of me. I was so disoriented as hell, but between the pain, the adrenaline, and her screaming, it wasn't hard to zero in what's going on. In fact, the hallucination or whatever of her was having an absolute shitfist in the middle of my living room. I like how he's still being sassy. It's not my living room, okay? I sat there for a brief moment, my face pressed against the floor while my legs were still up on the box mattress. Eyes wide as the blue glowing specter of the girl that I loved was thrashing around on the floor. Hold up, there's a music link here. We gotta figure out what we're dealing with here. Sweet Collapse by Matt Grossman. That's an alright song. I'm okay with it. I listen. Okay, let's see if we can find that one Nier song that I was thinking of. The one that plays when you're in the salts. Man, can you just buy Nier's soundtrack? That'd be great. Oh my god. You can, but there's like an album, the soundtrack, 50 Nightmares and Arranged Tracks. What the hell was with Nier's soundtrack? You could buy like $100 worth of soundtrack. You want $100 worth of soundtrack? Here you go. No, I'm not looking for that one. Like, the Shadow Lord is great, but not what I'm looking for. That one gets too hype. This is what I'm looking for. This song is great for this context. It's the song that plays when you're the Salt and you're playing Nier before he becomes Nier Ghost. Before he becomes Nier Gestalt. Or Nier Shadow Lord. Sorry, that's a spoiler, but fucking play the game, man. It's great. Screaming. That's so... Should I cut here? That sort of